And good morning or good afternoon, depending upon where you are. This is Dr. Kathy, and I am here to share with you some information from Amma. Now, I'm going to bring Amma in just a minute, and you're going to help me bring her in because I need your assistance in doing that. We were going to talk about the energy field, and we still are going to talk about the energy field. It's what I'm calling the new energy field. It is the energy field that is developing as our crystalline DNA unfolds, and as the crystalline DNA unfolds, we get a new chakras that unfold, we get a new aura in addition to them, and Amma's now telling me, and yes, you do get new structures of the other kinds, like your soul star, your core star, your Hara line expands more than you getting a new one. It's just opening up more to the energies that are coming in. But we're going to talk about the energy field, the new energy field, in relationship to what is happening here in the United States. Now, I know that we have people from Canada here. Most of us here in the United States, and I'm sure some of my Canadian friends on Facebook are just shaking their head about what's happening in the U.S. right now. And so we're going to address from Amma's perspective, how do we handle the situations that happened in Dallas? How do we handle the two situations that happened each day, 2 days before? The two men that it looks like were killed by the police for no reason at all. And that last one, the one that happened in Minnesota, the one that happened in Minnesota, where you may have heard or read some of the things that were on there. The aftermath was taped within just seconds afterwards, which affected me deeply, and it's affected a lot of people deeply. So without me going on into too much, let's go ahead and bring Amma in. So the first thing I'd like for you to do is to move into your heart source. And for those of you who have never been in your heart source before, you're new to this, just simply take a deep breath. Focus on the front of your heart center and just feel yourself go deep within. And focus on the back of your heart center, feeling yourself go deep within. Now go into your third eye. Bring your attention there. Going deep within. And the back of your third eye, back here. Again, go deep within. Now just imagine or intend a beam of energy to go from your heart to your third eye. It goes right up the center of you. Kind of the pranic tube, but it's on a different dimension. And now send that beam of energy straight up. It'll come right out of your crown, straight up to the center of the universe. No worries about where that is. It knows exactly where to go. And just feel what happens to your body. Now keep all of those pieces in place. Bring the energy straight down into the center of the earth. And now you are centered and grounded. Now let's just strengthen that a little bit. I want you just to say chakra spin. Good. Now those of you who have not been on encodement intensives are not aware, or probably not aware of what the basic plug-in is. Don't worry. Your healing team will take care of that for you. Everything will happen. I'm just asking for the basic plug-in to be applied to your energy field to remove anything that is interfering with your heart source being fully formed. Good. I always notice that my body shifts a little bit, at least internally, when I do that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to form a lecture room. I learned this from the Melchizedek method when I took that. So we're asking Amma to put within us, we're all gathering in one room. Just imagine we are no longer in our individual little spaces. We are all gathering in one room, and there's a floor of light below us, a canopy of light above us. There's a pillar of light in each corner. And now there are angels moving in. These are from Archangel Michael's band. that are surrounding the room from pillar to pillar to pillar to pillar, so it goes on all sides. And there are now angels from Gabriel's band that are also coming in. And what Gabriel is actually telling me is that it is important that we be people that proclaim the truth. And Gabriel is about communication. So be the people that proclaims the truth. And of course, proclaiming the truth isn't always by our words. It is mostly by our actions. And now there is a central pillar right in the middle of the room, and we have all kinds of ascended masters and beautiful, beautiful beings that are coming in. So I see Jesus and Buddha are coming in. They usually come in together. Almost always they come in together. Often they're chatting. Today they're not chatting. There is Melchizedek that is coming in. Dwakul, Kuthumi. Various archangels are coming in. The Archangel Golden is coming in. She works with encodements, and she looks like she's 22 karat gold. At least that's what she looks like to me. There's Mother Mary. And then just invite anybody that's important to you to come into the central pillar. Your own angels and guides and healing team are surrounding you. Now send a beam of energy from your heart to that central pillar. And even though I'm also connected to the central pillar, I also ask you to send a beam of energy from your heart to my heart as I bring in the energy of Amma. Well, good morning, my dear ones, or good afternoon, or good evening if you're listening to this later. How wonderful to be gathered here together to experience each other's sacred energy. And you do have sacred energy. That sacred energy is the energy that is uplifting the planet right now. No matter where you are in an emotional level, the higher you are emotionally, of course, the higher your energy is. But even if you are at a sadness, or you're in grief, or you're in confusion, or you feel a real deep suffering within you about what is either happening in your family, in your city, in your state, in your country, even if that is happening, my dear ones, you have an energy field that is opening up to all of you as your crystalline DNA unfolds, as your new chakras come in, and they interrelate and integrate with each other, as your aura comes in and integrates with each other, as your core star opens up with the new energy coming in, you are at a higher vibration. You are at a wonderful, wonderful vibration, which is uplifting the planet even in your sorrow, even in your grief, even in your concern. Because have you not noticed that you are different? Have you not noticed, some of you, that what is happening in the world around you is affecting you on a much deeper level? So I'm going to tell you one way to handle that. Don't delve in deeply to what is happening in this planet. There has always been pain. There has always been injustice. There has always been war. What has changed? Your communication has changed. What you call your internet has a positive side, and I don't want to call it a negative, but let's look at a negative as in the negative of a photograph. I think all of you in here are familiar with photographs. The young ones may not know what a negative of a photograph is. But what is happening is that if you did not have your internet, if you did not have those phones which could take pictures immediately or do streaming video that would go out to the world as it is happening, these things that you are witnessing through social media, through television, through your computer, would be unknown. Those of you who grew up in the Christian tradition may be aware that the one known as Jesus, Yeshua, he said that the darkness would be revealed because the light would shine upon it. That is what is happening, my precious ones. You are the light. You who take those pictures, who take those videos, you who choose to watch those things and be aware. You are the light that is shining on the darkness, because now someone cannot say, no, you are mistaken, because you have the representation of it, the pictures, the video of what is happening. Those of you who listened to the video of the aftermath of the man that was killed in Minnesota heard the panic in the police officer's voice, heard the centeredness, the shock, yes, in his girlfriend's voice, the girlfriend of the one that was killed, heard the little 4-year-old. You heard that. That cannot be denied by those who are in power, who want to say that it is not true anymore. Now, the negative part, and I'm using it not as a negative, but as a reflection, is what this does within you. Be aware of what is happening, my precious ones. Do not delve deeply into it. Do not be caught in listening to every little bit of the news, to watching a video or listening to an audio over and over and over again. Do not be caught in those conversations that bring you deeper into the lower vibration energies. Yes, be aware. And be in your heart source. Strengthen yourself in your heart source. The heart source is protective energy. You do not need the low vibration energy coming into you. You do not need other people's sadness coming into you. You have enough of your own, correct? You do not need other people's grief to come into you. You have enough of your own. You do not need other people's worries to come into you. You notice I didn't say you have enough of your own. Because what I'm hoping is that as you learn to stay in your heart source, you release the worries. You release those worries and allow yourself to stay centered and grounded. If you find yourself worrying again, you are no longer in your heart source. So just go back. And you simply go back into your heart source by saying, heart source. Focus on your heart. Some people focus on their third eye. Focus on your heart or your third eye, wherever it works for you, and say heart source, and go deep within that place, that wonderful, wonderful place that is there. So now I'm connecting this with your energy field, because that is what this one asked me to speak about this time. And we've been doing instruction on it. The last 2 sessions have been on this. I'm going to have you focus primarily on the different DNAs, because everything springs from them. What happens with each unfolding of each double helix of the DNA? So you have the physical that has unfolded, correct? That one you were born with. Then you have the crystalline, which is unfolded. So I call it DNA 3 and 4, but that's actually the second double helix. And you have them until you have 12 strands, 6 of the double helixes that are occurring. Each one has a different vibration. Now, I'm going to show you a way that you can become more aware of what is happening in the energies and what is happening with you as your crystalline DNA unfolds. I want you to think, I think everyone here is aware of what happened in Dallas. Just think about it. I don't want you to delve into the energies of it. I don't want you to feel yourself go deep within that. I don't want you to get caught in that. I just want you to touch it. Like a hot stove, just bring your hand over the heat. I don't want you to put your hand on the stove and burn yourself. Now ask to focus on the first double strand of crystalline DNA, strands 3 and 4. Just ask. Feel your energy. Allow your energy to move into the crystalline strands. Think about Dallas. And notice if that is any different for you. Does it feel maybe a little bit more detached, or that you feel it in a different way? It's okay if you don't. Some of you are more sensitive than others. We're going to do this rather quickly, and then I'm going to talk some more about it. Now, you're going to focus on the next 2 strands of the DNA, 5 and 6. Just ask for that to come and the energy of that to come, and think of Dallas. Think of the 5 officers that were killed, their families, the man who was the killer, the sniper, and then he was killed. Think about that whole scene. Now just notice the differences. Now, focus on strands 7 and 8. Just call them up. Just ask for strands 7 and 8 and focus on that. Notice any changes within you and how you perceive this energy. Now, some of you do not have strands 9 and 10 yet unfolded, but go ahead. It's there within you. So go ahead and ask for that energy. And again, hold your hand over the heat of what happened in Dallas. Do you notice any differences? And now the last 2 strands, 11 and 12. Do you notice any differences? As each strand of the DNA unfolds, and as you integrate the energy of those crystalline strands of DNA, what happens is that you begin to move away from the 3-dimensional world and looking at the 3-dimensional world as reality. As you are able to focus in on the energies of the crystalline DNA and each one of the, I'm going to call it higher in a hierarchical structure, but that's not what it is. It's a layer. But as you move up to the strands, the first being the physical, then the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, then what happens with that is that you will become aware, even more so, you will become aware of how each one of you are playing a role. Frick. You will become aware of how each one of you are playing a role. And that each person in Dallas, including the sniper, the 5 officers who, in their contract, said yes, they will be part of revealing the dichotomy that is happening in the 3-dimensional world. They will be part of the grief that will come, so that grief, through the grief, people of light can make decisions about what is good, what is bad, those are judgments, how they would like things to happen, and what choices they have to make in life. As your DNA activates, you will move more and more into recognizing the oneness that is truly here. Oneness is a concept. In many cases, it is just a mental concept that people say, yes, we are one, but then they treat each other not as one. And so as you move into the energy of the other DNA, into the other crystalline DNA, and the higher you go, you eventually come to a place where you see the sniper truly as an aspect of yourself who is experiencing what it is like to be so alienated that he wants to kill aspects of himself. All of you are working together. Your job, if you want to put it as job, I have that in quotes, is to remain in your heart source, or at the very least in your heart, so that you can send out energy into the world that moves out into the world and counteracts. It will come face to face with the energy of fear, of anger, of rage, of separation. And that energy can come face to face and help neutralize that energy. You may have noticed that most of the world does not understand the power of what is usually referred to as prayer. I'm going to change the word from prayer to just saying to send the light to others, because that's what prayer is, to send the light to others. When you make a stand within yourself by being in your heart source to address what you see as great injustice or great horrors, whether it is happening in the United States, whether it is happening in Canada, whether it is happening in Afghanistan or Ghana, no matter what the horrors are, if you will make that decision to stand within your heart and to send energy out from your heart to that area of the world, when your energy, the higher of the vibration that it is, the more you are consciously working through the separation that you were born into, the more you are becoming aware that, yes, truly, that one who has murdered, who has raped, who has tortured is an aspect of yourself. And send that energy out. Then as that energy of love, the energy of love, capital L, goes outward and it meets the energy of hate or separation, let's call it separation, then what happens, my precious one, is energy is neutralized. Not the love energy is neutralized, no. Because the love energy is stronger and more powerful than you could ever imagine. The difference in the way that you have in being able to send love is that you understand the power of the energy you are sending. You may not understand fully, and that is okay. It is great that you understand even a little bit, because with that understanding, you know that you are not asking someone else, a higher being, myself, Abba, whomever it is that you pray to. You are not asking us to make a change. You are sending energy out which causes a change within yourself and goes outward. Let's say this is the low vibration in my right hand and hits the right hand, that your love hits the hatred or the fear or the anger, and it helps to neutralize that. If, however, people send out more anger, more fear, more hatred, it builds it up. It increases what is there. So let's try another little experiment. We're still working with the differences in the DNA, but we're going to do it through the chakras. We're going to do it through the heart. You are in your heart source, and just say heart source just to be sure you are there. Wonderful. Now focus on the front of your heart. You actually have, as your DNA unfolds, you will have 6 heart chakras. How about that? 6 heart chakras. Ask to focus on the second one. That's the first DNA, the crystalline DNA. Focusing on that second one. Choose a place wherever you wish. I've been talking about Dallas, but choose wherever you wish and send love there simply with the intention of sending love, not to make changes, simply with the intention of filling the area, the people you have in mind with love. Now focus on the third of the heart chakras, the one that comes from the second strand of the crystalline DNA, not the second strand, the second double helix of the crystalline DNA. Focus on that heart chakra. And the same place where you were sending love, still send love, but just focus on that. Notice if you see any differences, if you feel or experience any differences. Each of the different heart chakras, there is an energetic connection that is occurring that as you send energy out, it lifts the vibration of that energy. It amplifies the vibration of that energy. And that is what is happening as the various crystalline DNAs unfold, is that the vibration of the energy that you send out rises. Now, when you get to the ultimate level of the last crystalline DNA, which would be the 6th strands, then you would then have the 12 all together. When you learn how to use this power and have it fully integrated within you, you will be able to do the miracles that you have heard from the masters, the ones that you saw that Jesus did, the ones that the Buddha did, the ones that the masters of the Far East have done, if you have read those books. You will be able to access that power. And that power is simply the ability to use your energy for wholeness and good and love. So when you are able to access that 6th heart chakra, and just ask to do that now, the heart chakra that is connected to the last 2 strands of the crystalline DNA, feel your energy change. When you have the integration of that last level, the last of those chakras, when you have that integration, your energy comes into a way that you know you are one with all of those around you. You will look at each individual, no matter what it is they are doing, and you will see them from your heart, and you will sense, you may not know consciously, but you will sense that they are doing exactly what it is that they need to do to move what is happening in the large plan of this planet. You are aware that you have your own plan in coming here. You have set out your contract. Now, most of you have renegotiated your contract because for many of you, your contract ended around the year 2000 because that was a possibility, a strong probability, in fact, that this planet would actually end itself, not the planet herself, the people upon it. That started changing in the 60s, 1960s. That's when that started changing as people began to be aware of spirituality. Spirituality left the monasteries. Spirituality moved out into the world, out from the East, and came into the Western world. And now, as your DNA is unfolding and unfolding, and as all is integrated within you, these energies are integrated. So now I am going to ask your healing team to please use the plugin that was developed to integrate the DNA, the chakra, and the aura, to integrate all of that within you now. Those of you who have already been through that particular workshop will feel it still integrating at an even deeper level. And that will assist you that as you look at what is happening in this world, you are able to see it as a plan unfolding and stay into a place of divine detachment. Whether it is something happening personally within your family, or whether it is something happening in the broader world itself. It is impossible to affect change in darkness if you simply add darkness. The only way to affect change within darkness is to add light. And the more light you add, the less the darkness will be able to overwhelm everyone else. Your ability to send love from your heart, and as it passes through each of your heart chakras, and it is amplified as it goes outward, and it hits the darkness, it begins to neutralize the darkness. That is the power you have within you, and that is the power you will be able to access. It is all about staying in your heart at the minimum, and your heart source. Being in your heart source also expands your aura. And remember your aura, you have 6 different first layers of the aura, 6 different second layers of the aura. Just as you have 6 different first chakras, 6 different second chakras, and so on. And as that aura is activated, your energy field is strengthened. It is strengthened. And that way, as the darkness of others around you come at you, even when they don't understand you, and they may shout things at you or say things to you, that energy is not able to enter you. And that is what happens when everything unfolds. That is why, my precious ones, it is crucial, and I do mean crucial, for you to learn to stay at the minimum in your heart. And now that you know the information about the different heart chakras as they unfold within the crystalline DNA as it unfolds, play and focus on the second and sending energy, and then focus on the third heart chakra and send energy, and focus on the fourth and the fifth and the sixth, and notice what is happening. Notice what is happening. So that is my message to you today, and I've noticed that some people have some comments, some questions. So I'm going to go ahead and answer those before I allow this one to come back in and do something besides take care of the dogs, okay? So the first question was, is the light that I speak of the same as the light of the aura? And that is an excellent question, and the answer is no. The aura is consisting of that light, but it is more than that light. So the aura has its own light, and you bring that light in from below and above. And when you are in your heart source, you have the energy coming in from above and you have the energy coming in from below, so that you are fully balanced into this world and to not of this world. So those of you who have been trained in healing, you know the importance of not using your own energy in healing, because that will wear you out. So your aura is your own energy. Now then the next question is the light only a golden white, or is it of different colors? Another wonderful, wonderful question. The light is actually of different colors. And those of you who are clairvoyant, you will discover that the reds that you may see in the various first chakras take on a color of red that you've not seen upon this planet before. Now, what is interesting is there is a switching that is occurring. Is at the first chakra very soon. And in fact, in many people already is no longer red, it is green, and it is the heart chakra that is red. And that's what it was for the longest time, until there needed to be a replenishment of the earth that occurred. You may have heard of the flood of Noah and think that it is a myth. Well, it is a myth that is true. You may think of the gods and goddesses of Olympus and of Rome of being a myth. Well, they are myths that are true. They are energies that are very much there. So when you have the strength of those chakras, the energies are coming out. So it's enhanced in the colors. Now, you will find that when you have integrated all of the chakras, all of the DNAs, and all of the aura, that your aura will be golden. Your aura will be golden. Is there another question? Those who are able to write out something on the computer. Okay, my dear ones, I'm going to bring the one that you know of as Kathy back. And she's kind of gone in and out as we've dealt with some of the little puppy issues, correct? But she will now be in, and she will have time for a few minutes of questions. My blessings to you, my blessings to you. I send energy to you. I am multi-handed, and I am holding each one of you. Thank you for being here. Okay, this is Kathy. I am going to unmute, and let's see what happens. If there's too much background noise, I'll see if I can mute people. But if not, if you would mute yourself, and then if anybody has a question, go ahead and ask.
Yeah, Kathy, it's Lynn. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, will there be a handout for today's call?
There won't be a handout, but I'll go ahead and see about a transcription, because I didn't work from a handout today.
That would be great. Thank you, because it was so important. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get it transcribed. And you probably mean for a handout there, but I was thinking of the encodement intensive handouts that are more like outlines.
Yeah, that is what I thought.
Okay, but no, because I didn't know what Amma was going to talk about. I mean, I knew what she was going to talk about, but I didn't know exactly what she was going to say. I really enjoyed that aspect of how each one of our chakras, as we send the energy and are aware of that, how the energy we send is amplified through us.
Yeah,
I did not know that before.
That's very important.
Lynn, you were going to ask something.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the snipers being an aspect of ourselves. I find that fascinating.
Every individual is an aspect of ourselves. That's what it is about being the oneness. So if you want to look at it in a symbolic level, from what we can kind of understand, think of the times that you have, I can think of times I have sniped at people. We haven't done it in a way that has murdered anybody. At least I don't think we have. But has sniped at people, have quote unquote murdered their self-image. So he was showing to us the ultimate example of what can happen with our actions. That doesn't mean that we are responsible for what he did. I want to be clear on that. It doesn't mean that we are responsible for what he did, but use it as a way to be a mirror for you to see what happens. He made a generalized decision, although I must admit that I read somewhere that this guy was not even from Texas, which says to me that, okay, you're going to get into my whole view of conspiracy theories here. So there are people of dark who want the fear here. They do not want us to know that we are one. Because when we come to that, they lose power.
Yep.
Does that help?
See that.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kathy. Thank you for watching this channeled message. Hi, I'm Dr. Kathy. Thank you for joining me with this channeling session. If you'd like to learn more information about Amma the Divine Mother, please go to her website, Amma the Divine Mother. The link is right below. And read what she has there. You'll see her primary teachings where she talks about Archangel Michael, the sword of Archangel Michael, and how that dispels energy. Your smallest energy center is called encodements, where she does tremendous amounts of work in that area. And of course, the heart source. You might find it very helpful to sign up for her email course. There is no charge for the email course at that time, and it lasts a full 366 days. And you will get a message every day that takes you deeper into your energy field, coming to know who it is you are and how you can access the tremendous power within you. And as Amma often says, remember, you are love incarnate. Blessings to you.